Hello and welcome to GPTV on the most beautiful Tuesday, the 18th of February in the year 2020, which is not a new decade, as one of our viewers liked to point out, Gary, in some of the feedback that we've had on GPTV this year, Gary, that it's not a new decade, it's the last year of the previous one. So there.
That's a big intro, isn't it?
That's a big intro.
His name is Philip Kingston.
Thank you for the feedback, viewer.
For those that haven't ever seen the show before, you probably tuned out about now, but that's true. Some very prickly viewer, or very correct, I shouldn't say prickly.
Well, he might be prickly,
Yeah.
or he might not be prickly, but accurate.
Yeah,
accuracy.
He's right. Jeffrey has said, look, this is not the new year of a new decade. There's a last year, and he's
Well, I just
correct.
said that, Gary.
But he said it so quickly, and no one really understood Philip. So I'm going to articulate it. Shall we send him something?
I tell you what, it will be the start of the next decade by the time you finish the introduction.
I think let's send Jeffrey some gold class tickets, Philip, because we like feedback. Thank you, good or bad or whatever. Phil, how about the first grande open of auctions? We've just had the first weekend of auctions, and it was off the planet.
It was a humdinger, viewers. We were looking forward to this weekend, the weekend that was just past, because it was going to be the litmus test of all of the hype that we brought to the last few episodes of GPTV in the year 2019, where we were talking up what 2020 would be like, and we were holding our breath, crossing our fingers, squeezing our toes, thinking, will we get through? The industry smashed it with 79%, but of course, the team at Gary Pier, with all of our systems and processes, came in at 86%.
And I've got to say, Phil, by the end of today, it'll be higher, because there's that one in Lambert Place we didn't sell that's going to be sold. I'm sure probably has been sold by the time it gets to air.
And I reckon Narrawong will sell pretty quickly, Gary, because it's been brilliantly priced now. The Joel Sir team have got a reserve there of $1,675,000. I reckon it's a buy.
Yeah, someone turned the light on, didn't they, Phil?
Yeah,
how about that? Now we're going to show you some footage here of Channel 7, of the Channel 7 report, and with all of the opportunity to go nationwide, around the nation and world, Philip Kingston, with all of his brilliance and articulate elegance, says, well, someone turned the light on,
and the buyers came rushing.
Melbourne's auction clearance rates are the highest they've been in nearly 3 years. It's another sign the 2020 property market is looking good for anyone wanting to sell their home. Not so good for first home buyers.
A 3-bedroom unit in Caulfield North, and the very first bid.
$1 million. Welcome to you in the corner.
Within minutes, it was a done deal.
Sold, ladies and gentlemen.
For more than $1.2 million, a common occurrence as Melbourne's property market warms up.
Somebody turned the lights back on and buyers came running. Somebody turned the lights back on. Somebody turned the lights back on. Just for the...
Is that the best? Is that it?
That's
all you got?
Channel 7 viewers, your local real estate agents, your GPTV anchors were all over.
You think you're going to get a show? You're going to get a show, are you? What,
Channel...
Shark Tank? Oh, let's ask this intelligent... Someone turned the light on. Keep showing that little bit of...
Somebody turned the lights back on.
Oh, there it is.
Channel 7. It's unusual for any particular agency to get a gig on the news, but we did, and not only did we, but they had me, and then they had you, and it was a double act.
And what I liked at the end of that little segment, because it went for a minute and a half, is there was a real estate agent, and he was tapping someone on the back, and he had nothing to do with our company or anything to do with the story, but he was a tapping real estate agent, and that was part of the Channel 7 story.
All I can say, just
good on you, Channel 7.
Just as a matter of fact, viewers, while Gary's having a crack at my inimitable wit on the news, they chose to speak to me. I don't recall seeing them talking to you on the show, Gary.
Once they spoke to you and they had such a lowbrow experience, they weren't coming after someone else from our company. Oh, someone turned the light on. Oh. There you go.
I thought that was pretty good. Someone turned the light on and the buyers came running.
There you go. So that's all we have to do from now on. Just turn the light on, the buyers go. Anyway.
If you're having trouble selling your house, viewers, just switch the light on and the buyers will come running.
You don't even need a real estate agent.
You don't need display furniture.
You don't need advertising. You don't need to be online.
You just need an agent.
Yeah, but you do need the power connection. That's all you need. The power connected, a light switch, and that's it from now on.
All right, Gary, move it along, shall we?
Anyway, let's talk about some of our results, because some of them, Philip, were so exciting. And we started off in Monash, Crescent. That was my first auction for the year, Phil. And I've been pumped, right? I've been pumped because it's been a long time since I've done an auction. It's been since December. It's been like 6-8 weeks.
Were you you worried that you'd know what to do?
Yeah, well, I sort of got out there. It's kind of like, going back on the dating scene after you've been, married for 50 years, Phil. And I went back out there and I had a go. And I said,
I'm actually not quite sure that's what it's like.
No,
but anyway, go on.
Look, you just stick to your light, okay? Leave me. Anyway, I start, call for bids, Phil. I feel a bit rusty, and there's no bid. There's
Nothing.
no bid.
Nada.
No bid,
Zip.
nothing. And there's a crowd of people, and they're all looking at me, and I've gone and wrapped up the house as best as I can. No bid, nothing. So that's always a great way to start the year. I thought 2020 is looking good anyway.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, Philip,
all
no
hype.
bid, no buyer, no interest. I'm trying to do my best to get my sleeves out because I know how fussy you are about those. Nothing happening, Phil.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, I look that Saturday night, and there must have been someone else with a light switch because it sold for the asking price.
Shout out to John from our Bentley office,
John Sweeper,
who I think took all of 3 hours to sell the property.
And that's the beauty of auction, isn't it, Phil? Because
brings things to a head.
Because vendors will say, "Oh, the auction maybe it wasn't the right way to go, or if it didn't happen." I said to the vendors, "Look, we'll sell it," and bang, there it went.
It crystallises, Gary, the senses of both buyer and seller.
Why couldn't you said that to Channel 7? I
I
said it was like, I like
should
that.
have said that, shouldn't I?
That
In
shows
fact,
some
I'm going to
too.
use that this weekend. If you come to an auction this weekend, you'll see me say, well, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you turn the light on? So the buyers are coming. Phil, I went and joined you in Bignell Road, and that went very well as well.
It did.
Sold well. Monash Crescent, Philip, sold for $739. Bignell Road sold for $1,230,000.
Yes.
$1,230,000.
Yes. $1,230,000. We held that auction inside, 3 parties, and sold well over reserve.
Yeah.
The sale that I want you to talk about, Gary, is the sale on Sunday in Regent Street in Elsterwick.
Well, Phil, did I have some fun at that auction? Massive crowd of people there.
Like how many people?
I reckon there would have been, it was 100 people at all.
So viewers, just to put that into
I reckon there was.
perspective, and we'll show some photos up on screen, obviously, of this apartment. Generally, under a normal market conditions, an apartment like that would get 20, 30 people at an auction.
So, well, I reckon this time last year, if we would have had 2 bidders, we would have done all right.
Yes.
And this time last year, I think it would have probably sold around 500, maybe a little bit more. And we thought, look, we started a bit lower with our pricing. We put 5 to 550 on it.
How many bidders there on the day?
Look, we had 4 bidders.
4
going
people
very
bidding.
strong. There were other parties that didn't get a chance to say anything.
So
Phil.
I'm told that there were 7 people
Parties,
or 8 people registered on the
Phil.
pre-auction
You
meeting
were told
list.
correctly.
So those others just wouldn't have had a chance to get to throw their proverbial hat in
Indeed,
the
Phil.
ring.
Anyway, I've gone and flicked the switch on, turned on the light, Philip, sold it for $682,000.
That is massive.
That is just incredible, isn't it? And
Massive
couldn't
result.
be a happier buyer. So well done to the buyers and to the seller alike. Delightful people.
In
both of them, Phil.
fairness to the apartment, Gary,
Yep.
was it a standout apartment?
It was a nice apartment, Philip, I have
Right.
to say that. But, apartments like that have not had that sort of level of competition. It did have a very small sort of compact courtyard. It was a full compact courtyard, which was nice and nice aspects. But, it didn't have a massive living area or anything particularly outstanding. Small block, great street.
Yes.
And, of course, the block, you are
Well,
responsible
yes,
for the
absolutely.
block being in that street, Phil, because that was your mastermind.
The whole thing?
Brilliance. But
The whole
Channel
thing?
7 didn't want to know about that. They just wanted about
that's-
the flick of the switch. Anyway, Phil, that was great. And of course, 7 and 8 Bialaba Road. We had our vendors interviewed on television.
Yes.
Very happy with the result there. That one sold again at $761,500.
Quite a few properties were sold before auction, Gary, I'm noting.
That one, Phil, just to finish off, almost $100,000 over reserve.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
go on.
So a number of properties selling before auction. Viewers, if you are out there looking, it is so important that you stay in touch with the agent. Although at Gary, Peer & Associates, naturally, we will stay in contact with you. But even in this buoyant market, we're selling quite a few properties before
we did do
auction
that last
because there are buyers that are so aggressive in the market now that they're putting offers on the table that are sometimes well in excess of our statement of information. And so as a result of that,
expectations,
some properties are selling before auction.
It's an exciting time, Phil.
It is,
because the
Gary.
volume's up.
Yep.
There's lots of buyers. You don't have this. I'm just, again, with my sleeves, Phil, because I know. The buyers are up, sellers are up,
Yes.
and they're meeting on price. And that's
It's a
exciting.
crystallisation of it's a crystallisation of the meeting of the minds of buyers and sellers that are turning on the lights and the buyers are coming, Garrett.
That's exactly what it is, Phil. I was going to say exactly the same thing in those words, but I thought I'd leave it to you. Phil, we are in February. The market's starting. We've got this period now before Easter. Then we've got the next little block, kind of post-Easter May, before the June, July cooler weather. What's it looking like to you that's going on out there, and what's going to happen?
Okay, so we've got a massive weekend coming up. In fact, the number of auctions this weekend for about the next 5 weeks prior to the interruptions that we do have in April, because we've got a number of festivals. We've got Easter, we've got school holidays in April, and you are right, there will then be a window in the May, early June period. But I think the volumes are now well and truly up. I think we can call the volumes up by at least 20% across the marketplace.
This time last year.
And interestingly, that is still not satisfying the number of buyers that there are in the market, because when you're having auctions where there are multiple bidders, I'm not talking about 2, I'm talking about 3, 4 and 5, a 20% increase in volume, Gary, will not satisfy the level of buyers in the market.
Hey, I want to tell you something interesting, Phil, because today I had a call from a buyer's advocate. We just got into a general conversation.
A general conversation?
Yeah. And this buyer's advocate, who's well known, very good, said to me about 80 people are sort of just launched in the last week or two onto them, saying, I want you to help me buy something.
80
potential
clients for this buyer's advocate.
Wow. The numbers are significant. The volume is exciting. It's in for a very busy period. I think it's going to be, real estate's going to be very hot now, this couple of months particularly. This weekend, Phil, we have a lot of hotness going on in the market.
Hotness?
There's a lot of heat.
A lot of hotness.
We're in a lot of different suburbs and a lot of different price ranges with a lot of different property types, Phil. We go from Mentone to Richmond and everywhere in between.
Mentone to
Richmond. We're going to be very busy. Shall we start wrapping up our sales?
Let's get into it, Gary.
Let's do it. Philip, we have 27 auctions this weekend.
27 auctions.
That's a busy weekend for us, Phil, and we have had many of the old days where we did that, 27,
Very
25,
happy to
30.
say, viewers, just to remind you that 27 auctions in one weekend is more auctions than we had in our first 2 years of business.
Yeah, I'd say it probably is.
True.
I think you're right. Phil, we've got double auction action at 10:30am, and I am starting off in Mentone together with Daniel Peer, who is very excited.
You've got to love a father-son combination.
Father-son combine, Phil. We go up there together or we fall together, but we are in it together, Dan and I.
Single-story villa, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and a lock-up garage, Gary. That's just what the doctor ordered.
It sure is, Phil. You can sleep in and not start till a bit later, but we are going to be starting with Leo in Nearham Road, Philip, on Saturday at 10:30.
That's a good-looking home, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, some serious period charm, and comes obviously with a great parcel of land.
Philip, we've got 5 auctions, no less, at 11:30.
Wow.
It is a busy time, and that's about as much as we have in any
Fight
time
for the
slot.
coffee vans, isn't it?
Sure will be, Phil. I'm going to be in Glen Avenue in McKinnon. Very excited to be representing Omnicom, who built this property. Take us through this fantastic town residence.
What a great property, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, and I love that location, and McKinnon's just doing so well.
Now, Phil, you open up your account of auctions on Saturday at 11:30am in Richmond.
I do, and I love that spot because that's the Paris end, if you like, of Church Street. That's where all of the furniture design companies are, where I'm known to go and have a look at properties. That's a great building, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathrooms, basement car parking for 2 cars, Gary. Great building, great location.
Have a wonderful time in Tigerland, won't you, Phil?
I will.
I'm sure. We're going to be in Windsor at the same time. Jeremy Rosens is excited to be in Upton Road.
Upton, great location there.
Road.
Walk to the train station, walk to Chapel Street, walk to High Street. What a great location, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space.
Leo Samuel and Jack Slater combined forces, Philip, in Winolta Road. It may be sold, but if not, it's going to be auctioned at 11:30.
Well, Gary, what a beautiful town residence, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, but I think that may well be sold by the time we go to press.
Keep an eye on it. 7 at 6 Williams Road is not sold at this point in time. Nicky Janover is excited to be meeting Simon Rodolnik as auctioneer at that
Love that location, love everything to do when you can walk to the tram at Dandenong Road, walk to the tram in High Street. You've got everything on your doorstep.
At 12:30, I am going to be in Riddell Parade, Phil. Love it over there in Elsterwick.
Gary, that's a favourite location of ours. That's a building that was built and designed by City Plan, one of Melbourne's best developers, and that truly is, I believe, one of the best examples of medium density developments in the inner suburbs.
I have to agree with you, Philip. Whitmuir Road, what a great address that is in Bentley, and Leo Samuel Auctions is terrific.
Well, we're
property.
selling so many of these sorts of properties, Gary, because that is the way of the future. We've said that many times before. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, a second car space, everything that opens and shuts just stunning.
I think our home of the week, Philip, is this home that you're going to be auctioning. It's in Ormond. It's in Maud Street. It is a cracker address and a spectacular looking home.
Well,
Take
Gary,
us through
check out the facade, check out the swimming pool, check out, this is really just like a whole dream Club Med area, really,
like
if you
a
think about it.
state-style living,
5
isn't it?
bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a magnificent facade. That truly is a magnificent home.
Holidays all year round is a feeling you'll get in Maud Street, Philip, and we look forward to seeing you there at our perhaps auction of the day, Philip.
Yeah, well,
One of
I'll
the
be there,
finest.
Gary. If I'm the auctioneer, I'll be there.
I
Don't
hope
you worry
I
about
hope you
that.
will be. I tell you who won't be there, Jeremy Rosens, because he's busy in Mitford Street, St Kilda, auctioning this terrific looking property. He's 7 at 23 Mitford Street.
A beautiful
Philip.
home, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, Gary. Walk to Ackland Street, Gary. Walk to the beach. Walk to Ormond Road in
Or
Elwood.
walk to Sydney if you've got a lot of energy.
Yes.
And Cliff Young.
Yep, exactly. Well, he ran to Sydney,
He
didn't
did, Phil.
he? In his
Hey,
gumboots.
He did, right? And as you would, Philip, I'm going to be auctioning also in that area, in that St Kilda East area. I'm excited to be at 28 Nightingale Street, Phil.
Well,
there's been a lot of interest in
There
this
has,
home.
Gary, and as there should be, because that is just at the back of Carlisle Street.
Yep.
And that is just a hot location. I think everybody under the age of 50 wants to live around there, and people that are over the age of 50 are probably considering it as well. But
Why
what a
wouldn't you be?
stunning location.
It's a young, hip area, Phil.
It is,
where
Gary.
the likes of you and I are not welcome.
Well, we're allowed to go to the cafes
Just to
there.
visit,
We're
yeah.
just not allowed to live
Exactly.
there.
We can visit, but we can't stay, Phil. I can tell you a stayer in real estate is David Thompson. He's also a great auctioneer, Philip, and he's going to be auctioning his property in Poth Road in Murrumbina, which is his hood.
Stunning property, Gary. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. I love our one-bedders.
So
You
do
know,
I.
they just tick through.
Exactly
they go
right.
on our rent roll. They come off our rent roll. They
do.
get sold to investors, first home buyers, empty nesters, the whole gambit. I just love them.
Philip,
good investments too, viewers.
As so often happens, Philip, you have the final say on Saturday. It's going to be in Wimbledon Avenue, 30 Love.
What a spot, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a car space, parquetry floors, beautiful kitchen. That's got everything you could possibly want, and obviously the address is stunning.
It is, Philip. Lob up there, and you'll have a smashing time at 2:30 p.m. on Saturday.
Gary,
at,
this is
suburb
why
number
they
13.
pay you the big dollars.
I didn't want to
because,
say anything,
You know,
Phil,
you're like a poet. You really are.
No, I don't want to. Listen, if you need to keep praising me, I've got all day. We can make a long episode
too.
Yeah, Phil, Sunday we've got double auction action at 10:30am. Yourself and David Thompson are the auctioneers at that time, Philip. You're going to be at Leopold Street. This is a great looking home.
Gary, I did a video tour of this
You
property,
did.
and from the moment I arrived, I thought this is really special. This is a beautiful home, and it's a bit of a surprise package because you know it's pretty from the outside, but it just keeps going inside. Love that house. Looking forward to doing that auction.
David Thompson's in the heart of St Kilda, Philip, in Wellington Street, and looking forward to
Well,
auction.
Gary, this is pretty. This is
Spectacular,
pretty
isn't it?
spectacular.
Yep.
This is pretty St Kilda cutting edge groove, high groove factor. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. I love concrete ceilings, Gary.
Yep.
I really do, and that is a stunning warehouse style apartment.
Triple auction action at 11:30, Philip. You're going to be in Begonia Road.
I will be.
And you'll be going to put a soul sticker up, I'm hoping, at 11:35.
What a stunning home.
Yeah.
You've got everything that opens and shuts, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a stunning, stunning facade.
Phil, Cranham Street's another great address. We're blessed to represent so many vendors and so many good addresses. This is one of them. Leo Samuel is excited to do this auction.
He
as
should be, Gary,
Have a look
because
at it.
that is the most magnificent property, and it's on a big parcel of land. And Cranham Street is really one of the best streets of that location. There's some houses in that street, Gary, that I reckon if we could get them to the market would probably break the $4 million barrier.
Cranham Street. There you go. Philip, Dover Street, we're looking forward to that one.
Yep.
Also a fantastic home that is Jeremy Rosen's
Gary,
auction. Pleasure.
I don't know whether you remember, but this was built by a builder that did a number of these properties throughout
I
St
remember
Kilda
that, yes,
East,
I remember.
Caulfield, Elsterwick.
I do remember that.
And I've got to tell you, viewers, if you're looking for a property like this, they really nailed it with these properties because they got the floor plan right. They got everything about these properties right. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking there. And that kitchen meals family room at the back is stunning.
Sure is, Philip. Double auction action in Bialaba Road, 12:30. You've got auction honours, and that's a great street. We just had a fantastic sale last weekend. There,
Gary, we did 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a beautiful family home in very, very neat order, selling it for the most delightful people, I've got to tell you. I'm looking forward to doing that auction because the property is beautiful and the owners of the property are fabulous. Nice combination.
Fallon Street, Caulfield, another great address. Leo Samuel auctions. I don't have any auctions on Sunday at all, Phil. I'm
Well,
feeling a bit
don't
left
think
out.
for 1 second that we're not going to have you out there, Gary,
Good.
because
I
it's
don't
all
mind.
hands on deck this weekend.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Phil, take us through Fallon Street.
2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, Gary. That's a really, really good property.
Now we've got lots of action in Bambra Road, Phil. We're going to be
Well,
number
we
21
do.
and number 19.
Rather an interesting story with
Interesting
number
story indeed.
21. The house burnt down,
Yep.
which doesn't happen all that often. And you know, I'm not going to.
Somebody flicked the switch
I'm
there.
I'm not going to make
It
any.
didn't
I'm
work,
not going
did
to
it?
make any jokes about
No.
this sort of thing, Gary, because you know, sentimentally, the owners of that property may be well attached to it.
We've already sort
but
of laughed about
out
it,
of
haven't
some people's misfortune comes our good fortune, because
Opportunity, yeah.
it's the most incredible parcel of land, and obviously now land value. In
Yes.
fact, it's going to be cleared prior to settlement.
Yes.
But that's a remarkable opportunity because it's 905 square metres, Gary,
That's a big
of
block.
prime Caulfield North Golden
And
Mile
tell us about number 19,
area,
because that's next door.
where
Phil. How's that
next
going to
door
work?
will
and the
come to
whole
the market
story there?
immediately afterwards.
Okay.
A similar sized parcel of
Yeah.
land, so it's an opportunity, Gary, for
Somebody
somebody
wants to buy both?
to be able to acquire approximately 1,800 square metres of land at the Paris end of Bambra Road.
I think there's a Paris end of bloody everything.
There's a
at the moment,
Paris
yeah.
end of everywhere.
There's a Paris end of Richmond, there's a Paris end of Bambra, there's a Paris end of Alma Road.
Do you think in Paris
Yeah.
people go,
this is the
Mel-
Caulfield
no,
end."
this is the Caulfield end
yeah.
of the Champs-Elysees?
That's right, or the Melbourne end of yes.
Yeah,
left
somehow I
Bambra.
don't think those uppity French people
Right.
would ever mention
Now you've
Melbourne.
upset all of our French clients. That's
I
it.
have.
Phil. That's it. We're done with the French now. We
We
love
sell
that
quite
country.
a few properties
We
to
do.
French people.
And
Gary,
there was a French
because
woman,
there's,
remember,
because there's
who
French
bought from us.
school. There's a
And
French school in Caulfield.
Right over here, across the
Yeah.
road. And there was a French woman who started speaking French too. And I think you said the wrong thing because you said something that was really charming, and she said, like, doesn't mean that at all. Remember that?
I do remember that.
201 at 120 Hotham Street, Phil. A great location. Jeremy Rosens is going to be auctioning. Ben Azen is involved.
3
in
bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a car space, Gary, a great property, and Hotham Street. Anywhere in Hotham Street is good real estate.
Phil, we don't stop in Bambra Road just with number 19 and 21. No. We've got more. We're going to go up the road to 160 Bambra Road. We are just going to sell the whole street in Bambra Road. I think.
It seems a bit
feels
like
that way,
that
doesn't
at
it?
the
Yeah.
moment.
Oh,
I think
and
we've
we
got
love it.
currently about 6 properties on Bambra
Yeah.
Road. I love Bambra Road.
Yeah, if you're thinking of selling,
Yeah, we are the Bambra
Road
Road
specialists.
specialists.
Yeah.
And what a stunning property that is, Gary. 4 bedrooms, 2 gleaming bathrooms, and the back area complete with that gorgeous swimming pool. That is a stunning, stunning home.
This could be one of the best weekends we've ever had in terms of quality of homes, Phil. I'm just going to put it out there for a minute. Leave it there. Just let it rest.
Yes.
Next.
Okay.
Let's move on to 30 Park Crescent, Phil, because that's another great address. That's what we're talking about.
I love that location, Gary. We love Caulfield Park. Caulfield
Yeah.
Park is a massive community asset,
It is.
and to be able to live across the road from it, I think, is
Yeah.
a massive bonus.
Outside living.
This
It's
is
premium everywhere in
I
the
think this
world,
is a
Phil.
development opportunity,
It
Gary.
is.
Particularly as it's got an almost an 18-metre frontage, 572 square metres, a livable, lessable home.
Yep.
Does need a bit of TLC, but great location.
We
great
finished off
opportunity.
Saturday, Phil, with a bit of a tennis theme, but on Sunday with Wimbledon Avenue.
Yes.
On Sunday, we're finishing off at the Polo, Phil.
Are you a Polo
Parade.
fan, Gary?
Not really. No, I've been invited. Have you ever been to the Polo?
I have.
Have
I
you? What's it like?
Well, I'm going to tell you something completely pretentious, as only I can. I went to the Polo
Go on.
in the French Alps.
Oh, of course you did.
In Val d'Isère.
Oh, of course you did.
I kid you not.
Yeah, you're connecting
Which-
well with the common person, you know, the common viewer, the working man, the working person is watching you saying,
no, this is like this is.
Yeah.
I think this is my most pretentious
this is
story
yes.
ever.
I think
that
your-
I went to the
I think
Polo.
your Range Rover tyre's going to be let down by
I
something.
went to the Polo
Yeah.
in Val d'Isère in
Of
the
course.
middle of winter.
Oh, of course you would.
While it was snowing.
Oh, of course, you had
in
to.
my Ralph Lauren
No.
puffer jacket.
That's fantastic. Well, you've really enhanced your image here now, Phil. You didn't do it on the news on Sunday, you've done it
Correct. If you didn't hate me before this week's
now. Oh, it's
GPTV,
all
you
right.
do now.
No, don't be like that. We all love you, Phil. Just talk about 14 Polo Parade,
Well,
can you, please?
Gary,
Yeah.
short of Val d'Isère, right? Polo Parade in Caulfield North is one of the world's best addresses.
It is, isn't it?
This
How
is
about this house?
This is a
Incredible, isn't it?
fantastic home. It was lovingly, virtually rebuilt by the current owners. They've turned it into the most stunning home where all you've got to do is move in and not spend a cent because they've done everything. The kitchen is incredible. The bathrooms, the main bedroom suite, the entertaining areas are truly extraordinary. It's on a massive parcel of land, Gary, that all faces due north at the back. You couldn't get, I think in my call, I reckon this is one of Caulfield's top 7 streets.
And certainly the best offering of 2020.
No
That's
question.
for sure. No question
question.
about that. We'll look forward to seeing you there. You've got a very long day.
I'll tell you
Phil.
one thing that's interesting, Gary, through Polo Parade, because we've had good interest in the home, and a lot of people through it.
Yeah.
We've had 2 feng shui masters go through that property.
Very good.
Interesting viewers. I think what we will try to do is get a grand feng shui master on the show, because I think that would be really interesting.
I'd like that, Phil.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
Stay tuned, viewers,
he's turned
for
another-
us to introduce to you a grand
Grand
feng shui master,
There you go.
because what they do is really fascinating, and there's a lot of our Asian clients will not make a move without a feng shui blessing.
I'm not sure I'm going to make a move without that either, Phil. I reckon I'm ready for some feng shui advice now.
There you go, Gary.
It could only guide you well. The year of the rat, isn't it?
The year
of the rat.
It's the year of the
I think
rat.
it's the year of the rat, Phil.
Yeah. Do you know, you and I were born in the year of the rabbit, I discovered the other day.
Really?
I was watching a show where the guy said, I'm born in this particular year. No, we will not tell you our birth year, but it was the year of the rabbit.
Well, we've only had 2 kids each. It's not very rabbit-like, is it?
You work it out.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's fascinating information, Philip, and I'm sure the viewers are enriched for hearing that. But that's a big wrap on the market.
Long episode,
It's a long
Gary.
episode, but there's so much
Wow,
to get
have to have
through,
a
Phil.
little drink,
And
Gary.
next week, I think you go and do that. Next week, I think we'll have to keep the summary of the property very quickly, very brief, Phil, because we've got a lot to bring on again. But it's all happening out there in the world of real estate. It is exciting, and there are buyers and sellers making moves all over Melbourne and Sydney, I think, as
And
well. Phil.
someone turned the lights on,
Someone
and the
turned
buyers
the light
came
on.
running.
They sure did, and that's a big wrap on GPTV. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. I'm Gary Pearce.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a fantastic week.